Hey guys, Anthony 4x4 Diesel. This is an after trip check. So after you've been on a big trip or off-road, dirt road, touring, tracks, whatever, a few of the things to check and what you can expect to be damaged or normal wear and tear. Perhaps this will show you ways that so you know how much off-road a vehicle's done. Now, we've just done a just over 5,000k trip. I'd say I'm pretty sure it was at least 70% dirt roads, probably 80. So a lot of dirt road work. We've given the vehicle a quick clean. You can see there's plenty of bug splatter and whatever still because it's going out on more trips. So not worried about it too much. You just want it clean enough to do a bit of inspection. It's due for a 40k service and we're going to have a look over it and just see what are the things over and above normal, what to expect. Now, this bash plate, it's taken a slight hit there on one of the tracks. Okay, it's just the standard bash plate. That's why if you're doing rough tracks, you'll probably want to get that aftermarket kaon.com.au, you know, the heavy duty underbody protection. That's been hit there, which in turn, instead of leaving it all flat like that, it's sort of bent up there as well as that. So, but that's right. It kind of means it's got more clearance for next time. It's not going to hit the same spot next time. I've noticed this, there's a plastic clip there in the middle, that's gone, so that probably got hit by a rock or something. That's gone. Suspension at this end's good, no leaks. Probably looks a bit grotty, that's a lot of bug splatter, right? Lots of bug splatter. No leaks of deterioration. There is something that may surprise you. Bit of feedback on the suspension once we get to the rear. I've had a quick look over it, that's all. This is the 1G DFTV 2019. Right, so a little bit different to what we normally do an inspection under. So if you've got a 1GD, this is probably the one you want to have a look at. It's the usual, you know, having a look at the bushes. Let's have a look at those bushes, all right? Even though they're near new. Cracks haven't started yet there, good. That one doesn't even look twisted. So this vehicle, it doesn't do speed humps. It's not a town car. It's a trip car, long trips only. DPF, we don't trust DPFs, so it's only long trips, highway trips, less soot, no cold starts, less cold starts, I should say. Notice, look, you'll notice it less now, but there was even that small amount of oil that you get there, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't say it's off the tail shaft, because I'm going to be quite honest, I've never lubed these shafts. May have mentioned in another video, I take it to a Toyota dealer. I'm not going to say I trust a Toyota dealer. I trust them to an extent. You know, it's pretty cheap by the time we buy oil, diff oils, fuel filters and whatever. The 240 cap service, it's not just about the price, it's about the warranty, and I don't have to take it to them, but it's just, it's much easier if there's a problem with a DPF, if they want to look for an out, if they've done all the servicing, you know, it went in for a 20,000k service on exactly 20,000 Ks. And if everything goes to plan, it's going to go into a 40,000k service on 40,000. And I'm going to ask the question, are we putting any grease in the tail shaft? Because normally you see a minimal or a lot of splatter up here. I'm seeing virtually nothing from this tail shaft. Look how dry it is. So they put some in the uni joint. So it's had a 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 at the same dealer. There's a little bit going into that uni joint. Nowhere near enough on there, so that'll get a mention. These look fairly dry as well. I think the apprentice needs a bit of, maybe we'll go in and train them on how to lube some drive shafts. Anyway, there's a little bit there, but you know, the usual mess isn't there. So, and see how dry that one is as well, right? Very dry, needs a good clean up and a lube. So we'll take care of the cleaning up. So yeah, do we trust? We don't. I'm not saying we trust them. We trust them. We basically go in and say, don't do this, don't do that, don't touch this, don't do that. Just do what you got to do. Change your oil. It must have got hit there too. That's a bit bent around. Yeah, because that's normally flat. Right, that bit's normally flat and it's rounded off. You can see the hit. Did a few tracks and whatever. So you get that. This is a touring vehicle. That's why you won't see any damage along here on the fuel tank. But okay, to do with the Dobinsons suspension. Something that's happened both sides. See the cable tie mark there, and it's gone. That's the problem with bloody cheap crap zip ties, and that's what I believe comes with them. I'll be quite honest. You can see the zip tie mark there. It was there. It's not there now. What's this? This is the new zip ties I've just put in place because I'm just going to quickly demonstrate, if I can, if it's even possible for me to do this one-handed. Right, we just want to get that boot back up onto there, bring it up to the same mark where I decided was the right place. So I need two hands. I need one hand, and then I'm going to zip that, right? But we'll do that off camera, and we'll have a look a bit further, because there is something else I've noticed with the suspension. It's going to be possibly an issue with a monotube. So if you've got or thinking about the monotubes, stay tuned. Oh, there's our, if you saw our video on plugging the tyre, this is the left-hand rear. This is where that dirty thread tap went into the tyre, okay? And we pulled it out and we've plugged it. It did get trimmed off, but you know, I don't like to trim it too flush or there's nothing left. I like to have a bit of fluff on the outside of the hole as well, right, to stop it going. I don't think it's going to go in on its own, but yeah, you don't want too much hanging off, obviously. That's, you know, not touching the road or anything, but just, you know, there's it's a bit untidy. It's hard to get it neat and tidy. There's probably a few mil there, you know, 2, 3, 4 mil varying. It goes all dry, all the sticky stuff comes off, getting hammered down the dirt roads. Everything else looks good, you know. Like I said, we've given it a quick clean up, so most of the stuff's come out. A few rocks and that we're plucking out here or there. Plenty of spray from rocks, which we're about to show you. I'll go and fix up those zip ties, same both sides, right? So we just got to refit the boots onto there. All right, same both sides. I'm going to do that and then I'll come back to you. You can see boots. Look, you know, I didn't get the zip tie that straight, but you got this whole wide section to put the zip tie on, and it's a bit awkward. Doesn't need to be too straight, as long as it's within the lips, so you know. And it's nice and tight, pulled tight by hand, plus another click, couple of clicks. I was going to say that one's a bit better, but marginally. Alright, so pulled it tight by hand, plus another couple of clicks with holding it with the pliers, and then snipped it off. So that's all good up that end, but you can see the rock spray, right? It goes all the way up the monotube, right? So that's a single tube. Luckily, by the time you get to the height further up, right, and see the rocks almost hitting, you know, it's finishing just before the, you know, a few rocks have been hitting the end of the reservoir, you know. This is why I'm not selling you any remote reservoirs, right? Now, when I say that, if you want them, I will supply them to you, but this is why most people, I'll talk out of it before I talk you into it, right? It's about what you need and what you don't. And this is a lot of R&D, which is why these are on here. Oh, it's not R&D. It might be D for Dobinsons, research and Dobinsons development. But me, it's R&TU, research and tell you. So you can see the rock spray. By up there is not too bad, but usually the worst of the rocks is from there down. And my concern was these boots. Now, they've been absolutely pelted with rocks. There's no argument there, right? Absolutely hammered. And we're going to show you the evidence so you can, not only just the dirt that should have been washed off properly, but see at the bottom here, right? This is one trip that's just over 5,000 k's. Normally there's see that edge on the top of the bolt there, right? See this end, it's like about flat already. These bolts before long, they won't be bolts, they'll be just rounded off. So we need to get onto kaon.com.au. They do these shock guards that go over the top and cover to protect the, I think they protect, I think that protects the bolt a little bit, but we're going to need to replace these bolts every now and then. I'm not sure which side the bolt and the washer goes, whatever, but my main thing is, see the boot here? Now you can put a zip tie on the bottom. I don't bother because I just want the water to drain out. It's not going to lift up on its own, and that's where your adjustment is for your rebound, right? That's what R's for, right? R for rebound. Right, there's a little screw there that adjusts your rebound. That's another story, but see how the rocks have hit the ends? I was concerned these were going to break up, and as they get older, getting hit by rocks, maybe they will. These are, how old are these now? Not even 2 years old, but we've got older ones on the 120. So far so good, and so is everybody else. But just be aware, rocks hitting bang, 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 bang constantly. This is what it's going to do to your bolts. This is the wear and tear you're going to see on the vehicle if it's done. See this? Unless someone's with the spray can, right? This is the sort of spray you're going to see, which is all cool. All right, I know, diff. Okay, so same over here. You can see the same sort of, see that? And there's the water drain holes there, like I said. They're not going to lift up on their own. Same thing, adjustment for the rebound. Anyway, it's not about suspension. It's just about, this is a maintenance item that come up. Now, anybody else that's got these, part of your service is, just need to check that screw is tight. It's a tiny little, I think it's a 2 or maybe a 3 mil Allen key. I can't remember. But you need to just give those a nip. And if you do find them loose, check them on a trip. Right, and if you find that loose at all, if that's wobbling around, you need to take it out. It needs to be refitted with some Loctite on it, okay? It can happen. I think they've revised their Loctite situation and they're all good now, so they're okay, no problem. But just things to be aware of. See that, guys? I mean, I just want you to be aware. This is why I like twin tubes at the rear, because basically you've got a steel guard at the top and it's steel at the bottom. It's a twin tube. So if the outside tube gets, most likely where it's going to get hit by a rock is from here to in the first quarter, and as you go higher, the less likely. It's just going to be small spray, right? That's what's going up there mainly, small spray. I'm not worried about that. And have a look at this side. It's not even copping it much at this side anyway, right? It's because of the position of the shock. But anyway, right, that's just how it is. I'm not worried about that. But even if you haven't got remote reservoirs, you're going to get this and you're going to get that, because these is the monotube design. They're upside down. You've only got the rubber boot at the bottom. I think it's going to be okay. I'm not worried about it. I may or may not put those shock guards on. You can get shock guards from Kaon. As I said, they design and make up. I just want to have a look behind this. Oh, it's just a dent that's filled with dirt. So these rubber boots, you can just, what you can do if you want to be, if you're anal, as people say, oh, you know, OCD, right? You need to, well, it needs to be cleaned properly. And then what you can do, you can kind of pinch it. It's not going to work for the video, right? Of course not. There it is, right? You can pinch it. You can bring them back out again, right? So where the rocks have hit them in, it's just little. It's just rubber, mate, you know? It's no big deal. So this one's a bit clean, you can see, but she's okay. Right? So don't worry about the bottom. Just leave it like that. Give it a good clean up. There won't be too much dirt up inside there unless they've come off. And I had a look, it was all clean in there, so it's really good. Gave it a quick wipe, but it was clean in there anyway. Anyway, that's all we found. Dry drive shafts. The boots on the rear shock has come down and there's a bit more mess to clean up. So it's only had its preliminary clean, as I said. Probably give it a little bit more under here because they've got to take the bash plates off to do the diff. That'll be interesting. Let's have a good look. Never been out, what they look like when they've never been out. Can we see the other one through the hole? No, we can't, but there's a Philippa. Where I can't even think whether, is it hidden down behind, sort of like, you can't see it with the cover on, right? It's hidden in there, but should have never been out. Let's see if they butcher it up anyway, because whenever the cap service runs out, we'll be doing it and we'll find out all the things that got hammered. But yeah, we'll give it a bit more of a clean up because they've got to take these bash plates off. We could take it off for them, but we'll be doing their job for them. Anyway, we're out here. Hopefully that's been helpful. A few things that you can look out for. The usual checks, check your wheel bearings, whatever. But look, with a vehicle at 40,000 k's, you're not going to have any issues. It's mainly about having a look if there's any damage from rocks and stuff that's been thrown off the tracks, in which case it's usually going to be at the rear end of things, the rear shock, stuff like that. Everything is looking good here. Please give us the thumbs up and subscribe and turn the bell on. Sit tight, wait for the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.